Hi, I'm Mark Clay, one of the regional ministers of the EMBA. I just want to share with you a brief story this Easter. The story goes like this. In about 1930, the prominent communist leader Nikolai Bukharin journeyed from Moscow to Kiev. His mission was to address a huge assembly of people, and his message was the promotion of state atheism, aiming to convince the crowd that religion, and in particular Christianity, was obsolete. For a solid hour, he hurled arguments and ridicule and insults against Christianity. At last, when he was finished and viewed what he thought were the smouldering ashes of the people's faith, he asked if there were any questions. A solitary man arose and asked for permission to speak. He mounted the platform and moved close to where Nikolai was sitting. The audience was breathlessly silent as the man surveyed them, first to the left and then to the right. At last, he shouted the ancient Orthodox greeting, "Christ is risen!" The vast assembly arose as one, and the response came crashing like the sound of an avalanche. "He is risen indeed!" Friends, once again we approach the time of Easter, the most important time of the year for us as Christians. It's a time to once again bring home to our hearts the sad yet wonderful, harrowing yet glorious, hopeless yet triumphant story of the Passion of Christ. It's a time to once again travel with Jesus the road to Jerusalem and the cross. Time to see the miracles he did, to hear the words he spoke, to see the puzzlement on the faces of the disciples. It's time to share with him the triumph of Palm Sunday, time to draw close and hear the now familiar words of the Last Supper, time to sit with him in the garden, and time to cry at his suffering and death. But it's also time to share with the disciples in the joy of that resurrection morning. Yet most people in our world, some among our friends and families, will celebrate an Easter that has nothing to do with Christ, and the only cross that they will see might be on their hot cross bun. Most people today don't associate the Easter holiday with the death and resurrection of Christ. Or they're happy to take a few days off work, but pay little regard to the reason for it. Like Christmas, Easter is fast becoming more and more an opportunity to sell you something, be it a chocolate egg or bunny or an Easter holiday. Yet the message of Easter is not some great fairy tale written to entertain. It's a true story that has life-changing and world-shaking implications. This Easter, let us make sure in our churches that we remind ourselves and those around us of the truth of this story. Remind ourselves again that this is a story of passion, the passion of a loving God for his lost children, and the story of the lengths that this loving God will go to save us. Let's remind ourselves that Christ really died, that Christ really was buried, that Christ really rose from the dead, and that Christ will really come again. This is not only a story that should move us, but for those of us who know its truth in our lives, it should transform us. The world still may scoff at this story, but we know the truth, and we will proclaim it to all who will hear. So shout it with me, friends. Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. I can't hear you. Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. I pray for you and all your church family across the association that this Easter we will know and experience the resurrection power of Christ in our lives and in our churches. God bless you.